Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Discover with Dave. Today, I want to share with you my experience in buying a new vehicle from home. I was able to save, for my experience, several $1,000s on purchasing a new vehicle, and all the negotiating was done from home. I negotiated the whole deal from my house. I never had to go into the dealership except for the final day for the payment and picking up the vehicle. And that was it. Signing the paperwork and getting the vehicle. Zero negotiating was done at the dealership. And so let me explain how I did this. First thing is, you want to create a junk email account. Whether you go and sign up through Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, there's plenty of them. That's very easy to set up a free email account, and you're going to start a new account that you will just use for this or for future times when you think you might get junk email. Okay? Because once this email address is given to these dealerships, you will get hundreds of emails even after you've told them you bought a new car. I mean, I finished the process. I bought the car. I picked it up. I had the vehicle, and I'm emailing. Being respectful. Plus, I wanted to see if they would keep emailing me. I responded to each one of them. Says, listen, I already got a new vehicle. Thanks for everything. It's been great. Negotiating with you. Unfortunately, I already have one. Sorry, but thanks. And still, you continue. They've got you on the list, and they will keep bombarding you with emails. So you definitely want to have a separate email account. So the next thing is, you got to know what kind of vehicle you want to purchase. Okay, so that is a situation where prior to going, if you don't know what you want, you need to go out there and try something. What I recommend is, because in the end, you're going to want to try to get the best price at a dealership closest to your home, because if you need to take your vehicle in for some sort of servicing, whether oil change or whether there's a recall or something on your vehicle, you want the dealership to be closest to you. So that's your end game, is in the end to get the best deal at the closest dealership. Now, if all the stars align, that could happen. And for me, it actually worked out, and I'll tell you how it went. But you want to, when you're going out there to try vehicles, what I did is I tried to vehicles. I went to dealerships that were further away from my home because I didn't want to use up. There's only so many dealerships. I would assume near each person, there's only so many you have of the particular vehicle you're looking at. So, and I did try out different kinds of vehicles, different brands and things. But once I kind of honed it down to what I was looking for, I tried to find dealerships that were further away, because you're going to be asking them a lot of questions. You're going to be annoying. But you do want to let them know, I'm just here trying them out today. Today I'm just trying vehicles out. I'm not making any purchases today, just so you know. And this way they won't keep bothering you. Okay, so that's picking the vehicle up. The next, and probably one of the most important stages of this whole thing, is timing. Timing will make a big difference in how much money you will save. Okay, once you know exactly the vehicle you want, you have to time this perfectly. For me, I made sure I started approximately 1.5 weeks before the end of the month, and for me, it was the end of the month was May, which was perfect because May also had a holiday at the end of the month. And this was a double bonus, because you want to time it for them when they're getting close to the end of the month, and they're going to negotiate more. And when there's a holiday, they're doing a lot of deals and specials already, so it makes it easier for the salesman for you, to make a better deal for you. They want to make the sale, and they're going to do the best they can. So, and then the type of vehicle too. Sometimes they're getting rid of, I know some the next year's come out earlier or later, or some they do it at that month, at that year only. So that's another factor. So the next thing is, we've got our fake email address. or the email address we're going to use for junk, and we know what kind of vehicle we want. So now we have to, from home, start submitting the information, start putting out our request of what we're looking for, and see what kind of, throw out our line and see what kind of fish we get. So how we're going to do it? Well, there's some websites. Let me show you a few that are out there. Cars Direct is one. Name, first name, last name, email, phone number, address. This one I didn't like. I believe I didn't use Cars Direct because it asked for more information than the other ones. I mean, it wanted your street address. I want to give the least amount of information out. The least amount of information out I have to in order to secure. I'm just trying to negotiate a price here. I'm not giving them, you're going to be dealing with a lot of these places. And if you possibly do have a phone number that you can put in that you're not using, they need something. So, I mean, I don't want to tell you to, I mean, to be honest with you, even if you put a wrong number in there and they kept calling it, majority of it's going to be through email. I had used a phone number that was on its way out. We weren't using anymore, and I never really checked it that much. But I did see where a lot of them kept trying to call it, and they wanted, I need you to come into the office so we can negotiate. No, we want to force them to email. We want them to email you in writing. You want it in writing, and that's why email is great, because they're going to give it to you in writing. Okay? So I liked Edmunds a little bit better because Edmunds asked for less information. So let's see how this one worked. This is the one I believed I had used. Let's pick a vehicle. We probably aren't going to be, many of you who are trying to save money aren't looking for a Porsche 911. So why don't we find something? Most people are trying to save money, have families, and I don't know. Why don't we try like a Honda? What's that minivan? The Odyssey. Why don't we go with the Odyssey 2017? Let's give that a shot. Okay, so we got a family. We're trying to save lots of money on a Honda Odyssey. Look at this here. Save up to $4,422. Wow. Okay. So depending on where this number is going to change depending on the zip codes you put in there. Put a different zip code in. Okay, 2,242. I'm thinking it's kind of like the markup in certain areas. This area here is like Amherst, Buffalo area. So the prices are pretty reasonable to begin with. So here it's they're saying in general save 2,242. Certain areas you're gonna, but you can do better, and I'm gonna show you how that's gonna work. So, and every vehicle is different. What I liked, for example, this one here, the Honda Odyssey, they're packages, so you don't have to worry about the separate little accessories. Like if you're negotiating on a certain vehicle, like the EXL, whatever. With this particular vehicle, it's a package, so every single one dealership that has that EXL Honda Odyssey, it's going to be, besides the color, it's going to be the same features. Everything's the same. Where if maybe other brands, other types of vehicles might, well, this one has these extra, has a 6 CD player in it, so that's why we can't really negotiate apples and apples, because there might be an apple, and oranges. There's something different. Okay, so all right, let's say we're going to go with this. And you'll see it pops up the dealers in that zip code that sell that vehicle. Okay. Here's where you're going to type in the information: name, first name, last name, email address, and it does ask for a phone number, but it's not asking for a street address or anything like that. So you can put something in here. The email is the most important. Okay, right here, the email is the most important. And you're going to put something in, and it's going to say see prices. You're going to click that, and they're going to send you, let me show you examples. You're going to start getting emails. Here is one of them. Hi, Discover Dave. Thanks again for your interest with ABC Honda. I'm excited to help you find just the right vehicle because of all the special incentives available. I hope to spend a moment on the phone with you to cover all the options. So here they're trying to get me. Other ones you're going to find, I want you to come in. Oh, you got to come in. You got to come in. Here they're like, oh, can you give me a quick call? If so, please let me know your the number that is most convenient. If that number ain't working, some of them I started getting these emails like when they tried calling and they couldn't get a hold of it. Maybe you can come in. Here's another one. Hi, Dave. Great, you received the Edmunds. You're going to get a price. I got different things from some of them, but some it was an automatic. Like as soon as I did it, it submitted. It's like they had it set in there where it automatically came right back. Edmunds price promise email, and it had a price with an offer of $29,664 for the exact vehicle you want. We do have an amazing online value package to show appreciation. And here's all the things we offer, and bada boom, bada bang. We offer this and that. What I would suggest to do, and what I did, is I started because it was. Actually, let me go back and explain something else too. When you're doing this, what I did is I didn't just limit myself to the area I'm in. Okay. You want your area, because you're eventually, like I said, your goal is to get a dealership closest to you, but you need to get as much. You have to open up your area as big, so you have to put in different zip codes. What I did is, like I showed you before, you can put in different zip codes. Okay, put in another area. I don't know. Put in different zip codes. New Jersey, I can't remember a New Jersey one, but I had picked like a New Jersey zip code, and I had got because there's tons of dealerships in New Jersey, so I got a whole list of New Jersey ones. You're gonna keep doing this. You're gonna keep doing this, and you're gonna keep getting different dealerships, and you're going to keep marking, keep submitting. I did it for like 3 areas. So I had like 12 different dealerships that I was trying to negotiate with. They don't know where you live, okay? Because you didn't tell them. And you're going to be when you're asking for the price, you're going to be very specific. You're not talking about where you live. They assume that you're living in that area because they're assuming if you're going to buy a vehicle, you'll live near where the dealership is. You're going to take all this information and you're going to use this to use against the one you're narrowing down to eventually get to the last one you want to deal with, which is hopefully the one closest to you or the second closest, or as close as possible to you. Okay, so you're going to try to get as much information as possible. Going back to some of the emails, so then what I'd be sending to them is my responses were, and you want to be, in order for this to work, you want to be specific and let them know, listen, I already know exactly the vehicle I want. It's this vehicle. And you can tell them preferably in a certain color. I said white. And I am shopping by price only, because they're going to try to get you any way they can. You want to be specific. Tell them, listen, I'm shopping by price. I'm ready to buy. Let them know that you're interested. This will motivate them. I'm looking for the best price. I'm ready to buy the vehicle for the best deal, but I'm a very busy person, and it's best for me to get a price over the internet. I do not plan to go back and forth. I will buy from the best deal I receive. So you're letting them know you're interested. You don't have time to come into the dealership. You want them to give you the best price right away because you don't want to play this back and forth game. So that's what I did. Some of them, then I started getting things, oh, my general manager quoted this price. Please let me know how you want to go further. Once I did this back and forth, one of the places that was close to me, maybe this might have been the one, had given me a price. And I said, listen, thank you for providing me with the offer. So they gave me an offer. And before I forget, I don't know if I have it in this email here. You want to let them know you want the OTD price, out the door price. It's going to get confusing. They're going to send you prices, and you need to have them all the same by saying you want the out the door price, because what will happen is, let me show you. Actually, what I did is I created an Excel sheet to help me keep it straight, because it's going to get confusing, all these emails. And so I started doing it, the dealership's name, the rep's name, the prices. The difference is one of them is down below in small print. It had a documentation fee, $449. That's huge. So, here's our best price, la la la. And then if you find out when you get in there, well, there's the documentation fee and this and that, and you need the out the door price, the price after tax, after fees, after everything. So I had a few places send it to me, and sometimes I found like I said, this one here was, oh my God, it's $28,000. That's a lot better than the other ones. That's terrific. Right off the bat, I was all excited, and then I realized, wow, there's another this fee and then that fee, and they had all these little things that would add up, and then location too, All right, so let me go back here. So this particular guy actually had given me a breakdown, which I was happy about, and I said, I've been very busy. I've received a few good offers that I've been considering. I'm hoping to make a decision before the end of this weekend. There are many factors to consider in my decision process, and I'm letting him know after they're giving me these good prices, besides price now, I'm also considering the vehicle selection, the colors, the location of the dealership, the service department, what kind of service department. I know you mentioned, I know I mentioned I didn't want to go back and forth, so he gave me his best deal. But now at this point, I'm saying, I know you said you didn't want. I told him I didn't want to go back and forth, but I want to let him know that I did receive some offers that were better than what he had given me. So he's given me the $29,663. Somebody gave me $29,113. I don't have to tell him anything further than that, except for I did let him know, and it must have been a different email, that these were the out the door prices. I wanted an out the door price. He ended up coming back with this deal, which I believe ended up being the best one. The manufacturer was this. It was $33,450. He came down at like 28. I believe it was 28,624. The tax, inspection fee, title, the tire, the waste tire thing, all these little extra fees, and the out the door price was $31,190.32, which included destination, everything. So going back to my chart, you can see how that was the one that in the end ended up winning, and ended up being the closest location. Actually, what had happened was, excuse me, I had gotten another deal that was actually very good, was the best at the time, and I was about to go to that dealership, and it was like an hour before I walked out the door, and that's when this one came in, which was cheaper than the other ones. So they're going to play games, and you can wait as long as you can right up to the last moment, but you want to try to get in, like I said, at the end of the month. You want to try to do it at the end of the month and around a holiday, and that's how that kind of worked out. But you'll see how that was ended up being the best deal. I'm trying to think of anything else I can let you know. So basically, once I had gotten that best deal and I went in, and the other thing I did want to mention is I lucked out. The guy I had, the salesman, was terrific. I was very leery because I've seen a lot of comments and emails from other people that said, listen, they are going to, they told me there was one price, and I got there and it was a totally different price. And when the person questioned them, they said, well, yeah, my boss didn't my boss didn't approve it. So before I went to this final one that I liked, before I went to him, I emailed him one last time, and I said, I don't think I have it here, I had said to him, is this approved by your manager? Is this good to go? And he responded, we're good to go. There's nothing stopping you from coming in. Let's get this done. Let's do it now. And I walked in. They had to just do the credit check and sign the paperwork, and that was it. And exact price he told me we had agreed on is what he gave me. But again, you have to be careful. Check the reviews, because there were every dealership, even this one, I had seen some bad comments, but every dealership had it where they said they guaranteed me a price, and I walked in and they tried to add this to it and that to it and told me this wasn't approved and all this baloney. So be aware. I mean, especially if there's a specific dealership that everybody's saying that, obviously steer clear of that. Just use them for a negotiating tool for the other one, but try to find hopefully the closest one and the fairest one. I lucked out. I'm sure there's people that could do a lot better in there negotiating, sitting there all day with them and fighting back and forth. I didn't have time. I didn't want to do it. I've done it before for several vehicles in the past, and this is the first time doing it this way, and it was so nice. So I'm sure people could do a little bit better, but I'm sure most people could do a lot worse. At the time, this was seemed to be a pretty good deal at the time, so it worked out. But hopefully this helps, and good luck on your car purchase. And please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching Discover with Dave. Thank you.